There'll be many more of these. So we'll start right there. The game that Lou lost, and so did the Rockets. No Curry, no Draymond, but Kuminga, career high 33 points. Andrew Wiggins had 23 and 9. The Rockets, this is just a team that has their number. They've now lost 15 straight to the Warriors. Look, we can start to look into this right now, Lou, and I figure why not? Because we've talked about whether or not this Rockets team is real.
Yep.
You don't have Steph, you don't have Draymond, you still can't seem to get over this hump. Is this one of those games where it makes you doubt them?
No, sometimes you got to give credit where it's due. Jonathan Kuminga having a career high, 33 points. You got Andrew Wiggins who had a big night with 23. Like, on any given night, anybody can beat you. This is the National Basketball Association.
Whoa.
We'll chop it down to
the
association. But we learned a valuable lesson. No matter who suits up, this is an opportunity for other guys to step in and play a big part in wins and losses. And last night, Golden State were able to do that. They found a lot of different places. They found production, and they just played a better basketball game. To me, this game doesn't have a lot to do with the Rockets and the way they played. I'm sure we'll discuss.
Oh, yes.
You know, Ime Udoka calling his guys out. But to me, I felt like Golden State played a better basketball game, and they were better prepared for what happened last night.
See, I think the Rockets are doing everything right. They're on the right path. They're on the rise. But I'm the opposite of Lou here. I think that when teams like the Rockets lose, it's like, this is why we have these doubts. When a team like the Cavs lose, this is why we have it, because we haven't seen them do it on a big stage yet. It's a small sample size of their success. So this is why they have so much doubters and so many people that don't think they're contenders because of nights like this. Now, if the Mavs or if the Warriors or the Celtics lose a game, we're more likely just to chalk it up to a bad game because those teams are more proven, those teams are more talented, things like that. This, again, the Rockets are up and coming. They're on the rise. They're doing everything right. I do still think they're one piece away, which they have a lot of assets to get there, to get to there. But again, the Warriors played really good last night. I should get paid $200 because I didn't know Steph wasn't playing.
I didn't either. No.
I didn't even know Draymond wasn't playing either. So this was a huge win. A lot of guys stepped up in the absence of those two guys, but yeah, I think this is why you have kind of that hesitation of putting the Rockets in that contender category when they go and lose a game like this. Again, it's just one game at the end of the day, but it is a good measuring stick and a kind of a reality check of where they actually stand.
We want to talk about the Ime Udoka situation, and it's funny. Look, there's sound of this one, so we're going to listen to it, and then on the other side, I got a question. Here he is.
All the things that we've done to get a decent record have kind of gone out the window last few games. A few guys really didn't look like they showed up till after halftime. One of our softest games since I've been here, for sure.
So I like this. I don't know if you do. They are a young team, so I guess half of coaching is reading the room. Do you think that this will have a positive effect?
I do, and I think when you are coaching a young team, you face more challenges. You can call them out like this, but when I watch the Rockets, I don't find them soft at all. I actually think the opposite. I think they play extremely hard. They have a lot of tough, hard-nosed guys that enjoy doing all the dirty things, as coaches like to say. So I don't think they're a soft team. I think this is more motivation and more Udoka challenging them to get the effort every single night consistently. Because when you coach a young team like that, you learn to live with poor shot selection sometime, or bad turnovers, or having mental breakdowns on coverages and things like that. You should never have to worry about effort. There's no excuse for that when you're. So I think that is this point is trying to get across, because that can be frustrating when you are young and you do have fresh legs. But when I watch the Rockets, I don't get that feeling that they're a soft team.
Because I watched this game last night. I didn't get that feeling either. I didn't get that vibe either. But again, when you score 93 points and the other team scores 99, and you're averaging 110, 120, this is one of those games you feel like slipped out of our hands. We could have played better, could have played more energetic, and put ourselves in a position to win this basketball game. But again, on the other side of the ball, you're talking about a very experienced Golden State Warriors team. No matter whether Steph, Draymond, or anybody else plays, they're going to be well equipped because they're coached well and they have a system where they can plug in and plug guys in and out where they're going to play good basketball. And I think they ran into that last night. But if I'm Ime Udoka and I scored 93 points, I feel like I let one get away with the team that I had.
Yeah, he didn't go crazy either. He's just a very delivering his message. Very, but it's weird because it's the second straight day. We talked effort yesterday with the Lakers. We're talking about a little bit of effort now as well. Is this just a hey, we're about a quarter of the way through the season lull?
Well, I think that's the whole part of the NBA Cup is to eliminate games like this where they're stagnant, they're boring, there's not a lot of high energy, the crowds are even, less attendance in the crowd. So I think games like this, it's a long season, man. 82 games, you're not going to be perfect, you're not going to have that edge. That's why it's nice to have the luxury of a bench, have some youth to kind of bring in that spark. That's why I think the frustration came from the Lakers in the first place. Why is LeBron the one bringing the energy at the oldest guy on the team? But yeah, I mean, when you watch the NBA now, it's half the battle is playing hard. Everyone's talented. Everyone has skill. Everyone has something that they've perfected, whether it's, an offensive part of the game or defense part of the game. But you can make a lot of money in this league just by playing hard. And a lot of guys don't do it. So you'd see the teams that do it both, that have great coaching, that have depth, that defend, that are bought into the coach's game plan and everything. Those teams are usually the teams that win. But it starts off and ends with playing hard.
I like that. Playing hard. Showing up, being part of the team. By the way, you mentioned a trade. They're a piece away, and they have all the assets. I want both of you to chime in on this one. Do we think they will make a move? But more importantly, if so, who's the perfect fit?
I don't think you overreact and you feel like you have to go out and get somebody else. The point is to bring these young guys on and turn them into the all-stars that you want them to be, opposed to just bringing someone in. In the last 3 years, this is probably the best basketball that they've played. They can throw last night away or feel however they feel, but the totality of the year, they're playing really good basketball. They're still sitting in second place in the Western Conference. If you're Ime Udoka or your management, you don't just overreact to that and try to bring somebody in. You're still trying to get Jalen Green and Sengun on the same page, let alone bringing in somebody else, and you're still in second place. I think they're sitting in a really good position. If you're the Houston Rockets, don't overreact to some of these things. Now, everybody always wants to get better,
sure.
by any stretch of the imagination. Now, if you can go out and go get a Giannis or somebody like that, by all means, you give yourself that opportunity. But if you're the Houston Rockets, you don't overreact. I like where I stand with this team as it's built right now.
Yeah, not much is decided just on one game. We were talking about how long the season is. This is some losses hurt more than others, but I think they're aware of the big picture. I think they know they're doing the right things. They're on the rise. This is one of the more up-and-coming teams. But at the end of the day, yeah, I think they know that a championship this year, that would exceed expectations to the max. So listen, they're going to...
What is it they're missing? Like you say, they're missing something.
I mean, there's guys out there that first of all, they have the assets, which is they're in a great situation where they have a lot of young pieces. You look at their roster from Thompson to Smith to people would want Brooks, Reed Shepherd. They have so many assets that you could package to go and get a Brandon Ingram or a Jimmy Butler.
Oh, wow.
Kyle Kuzma makes his team better. So there are kind of these versatile wing, scoring, defending, hard-nosed dudes that I think would mix in well with this current roster, depending on who you have to give up. But they are on the right track. They have their core nucleus going forward with Fred, with that dynamic duo. Now I think it's time they add one more just kind of wing vet scorer that can kind of really then put them in that category with these other teams that we believe in.
Me personally, I think you don't make a big trade, but you probably can look at your bench and see, how can I get better off of my bench? How can I get more scoring? How can I get more defending for when one of these guys go out? Their starting lineup, all of these guys are nearly averaging 36 to 37 minutes a night. And then you got Steven Adams, you got Thompson coming off the bench, and they're giving you great production. But if I can bring somebody in that I know for a fact is going to give me 15 to 20 points every night off that bench, or I'm going to beef up at that big position with Steven Adams, somebody that's going to bang down there when Sengun is out of the game. Those are areas that they can improve in, opposed to making a big splash going out and getting a big name guy.
It's just a simple beef up and bang down there. That's it.
Happy Friday. That's how you celebrate.
You couldn't help it.
It's right
Every
there.
time I say the word beef, you guys erupt on it.
Because you use it in a way
bad,
that's so...
Whatever.
You got bad credit.
That's actually a great point. Your credit's the worst it could possibly be. Can we talk a little Jonathan Kuminga? Because I feel like he's been on a roller coaster his whole career.